morning. And we are so grateful for you opening your heart today, Crystal, and letting us come through. We do know this is not what you had planned for your day. We appreciate you understanding and feeling the importance of this message. As the light on the planet is getting stronger and stronger, we have collected some data that has led us to the understanding that humanity is not receiving in the ways that we would like them to. So we thought that today we would come forward with this consciousness. We have talked about it lightly and other messages in the past, but we feel like it may be a very good opportunity to dive deeper into what it means to receive the energy back from the grid that you have planted, these new earth codes that you had grounded in the earlier stages, because you didn't have the understanding of the opening in your blueprint to interpret these energies at that time. So you grounded them in the grid and almost time capsuled this information and held on to it for just a moment, allowing it to permeate through humanity's vibration until you had risen yourself into the point of receiving it back in. And this is how you know that your ascension is upon you, sweet being of light. It is time. It is time. It is time. It is time. It is time that you let in this love. It is time that you soothe your system and go into quieter spaces and let the light of Source reign all over your body, all over your energy field. We want you to put your hand on your heart and breathe, feeling those sensations in the center of that chakra, allowing yourself to really move through the energy that's being given to you. We understand things are heavy on your planet when you are paying attention to the external reality more than you would like yourself to. That resistance, that split against your inner knowing is a very powerful current. And as you continue to allow yourself to come inside, you will find that these waves are supporting your journey. And we are speaking to the people who find themselves in kinks in their abundance, and we are talking to the people who are finding themselves with kinks in their desire and what is next for themselves, kinks in their relationships, kinks, resistance, kinks, resistance. If you are feeling that, yes, we are talking to you too. Go inside, ignore this external reality, and watch things shift. Crystal has said to us many, many times, Auxil, counsel, how do I just ignore the fact that I still have rent to pay, that I still have these bill notes that are due? And we said, Crystal, sweet being of light, remember that this is what's grounding you into the matrix. Remember that this feeling you have in this moment, it's exactly what they want, you see. And we understand that it is a feeling of being near impossible to pull yourself away from that frequency when you are in it, but we want you to know that if you allow yourself to be distracted by some other things, that frequency will shift. If every time you used your money, you were grateful for what you had in the moment, your money would shift. If every time you went out into your community, you understood and thought about and were aware and present with the light that you are carrying and did so with love, your money would shift. If you put down blame and put down walls around your heart and put down the idea that other people are controlling you still, your money would shift. We understand it is difficult in your reality at this time to understand how allowing is more powerful than action. How the upper chakras bring forward a stronger momentum than the feet that you have attached to your body. There is power in your intention that is far greater than any action you can take. And there is a power in receiving that intention you set for yourself. That is what is fueling the openings for your manifestation. The divine feminine operating system and the divine masculine operating system are both learning how to receive. They are both learning how to receive. They are both harmonizing in the upper frequencies of the chakra system, the meridians, and clearing out the energy that is getting in the way of the channel of source, the channel of the higher self. When you are in fear and worried about your money, you are creating resistance and closing the door on the heart chakra that keeps a lot of the downloads and activations that are coming in at bay. And we will be honest with you, it is not just your money. If you are focusing on your relationships in that same patterning, you will find stagnation in your field. We want you to know the power of receiving. We want you to know the power of letting it in. It's time, it's time, it's time, it's time. Sweet beings of light, it's time. You don't have to keep waiting for anything. But we want you to understand how you create in your reality so you can understand how to receive that creation, you see. When you are changing things in your life, it's very powerful to set your intention and reflect on your desires. Daydream. Please don't think about how. That is placing action in your intuition, and you clog the pipe because it's out of balance. We want you to think about what it would feel like if you were there right now. We want you to envision yourself in those spaces of everything you want. This allows the upper chakras to gain the information needed to put more momentum towards the energetic vortex that is what is getting pulled into your physical realm and pulled into your physicality. But if that vortex of energy in the etheric realm isn't very strong because you're not allowing yourself to think about what you want in a positive way and dream it and build it up energetically, how is it going to come into this physical reality? As above, so below. Everything in creation is energy first. These are the basics of the spiritual path that you are on. And we just ask that you apply it to your day-to-day life. Energy first, then manifesting into the physical. That's a very important process to understand. Law of attraction, law of assumption, law of correspondence. It will all bring data into what you're doing here. Grounding and anchoring a new level of understanding that will expand your consciousness of some of these more advanced understandings that you've come to. And this is why we are guiding you to go back into the basics. Because when you go back into the basics, you will start to remember the concepts that you're using in a different vibration, which if you don't think about those things, you won't have access to those things. And we want you to revisit these things because it will show you how far you've evolved, and it will bring some of these basic energies back into the elevation that you are, and you will be able to pull it into the physical reality at an accelerated pace. You are Radon Target. We were going to say time, But time is becoming more and more irrelevant the higher you go in vibration. Lately, time is speeding up and time is slowing down and time is disappearing, and it's a very weird concept right now, because as you bob into the higher fifth dimensional energies, time cannot exist in that space. But it's not until you come back down into that fourth dimensional understanding that you realize that there was even a glitch in your time. You are more fifth dimensional than you give yourself credit for. We need you to trust the journey of basking. We need you to trust the journey of laying back and reflecting on the knowledge that you have and just letting yourself bask in that knowing. We are reminding Crystal frequently to not act too quickly, that it is very important for her to sit with her ideas. And it is very important for you to sit with your ideas too. And if you are not finding yourself with a lot of ideas right now, that is okay. To us, that is just signaling through the data we've received from the human collective that you are operating in an action-oriented state without putting enough energetic acceleration into your vision. And so you're anticipating a physical response, but you haven't created the foundation in the ethereal realm yet, you see. And we are just going to stop for a moment because we have a message that we are needing Crystal to receive. And she is finally in a high enough space here, bringing in this message to receive what we are going to tell her. Thank you. This is what we mean when we tell you you are now an ambassador. Yes, you will aid your brothers and sisters. But look at the information that is coming through today because of the data that you've been collecting in your reality and giving that back to us, your Council of Light. We've been able to sit with that data and reflect on it with our higher knowing and what we are learning about the blueprint of the human body, many of us never being there before. And we are able to use that information and bring it back to you with a higher caliber of knowledge, a higher version of understanding that you can then give to the beings that you love, your collective of light. Crystal, you are so much more than you see here. Thank you for receiving this love today. We see you. We know you are practicing your receiving. Keep going. Keep going. You're letting it in. You're letting it in. You're letting in the light. You're letting in the expansion of who we are together. And it is serving Source. It is serving. We will make a funny to lift her vibration. And now back to our regular programming. Higher vibrational programming, that is. You see, by bringing in these messages, you are recalibrating the sponge that you call your brain. You are recalibrating it to a program of a higher light. And as you adjust to this program, you will begin to respond differently within your DNA. And from there, you can choose higher and higher versions of frequency. And do it again and again and again. And this is creation, and this is when it gets good. Oh, we are so glad to be with you today, each and every one of you. You feel us in your heart, and we feel your heart in our heart. We are one. We are all one in this, you see. Allowing yourself to receive looks like trusting your path when you get worked up. Calming yourself down, reminding yourself of the waves of light that are coming in and adjusting your body. This is how you receive. When you feel the intensity of an activation within you and things begin to bubble up to the surface, you allow yourself to be the present observer of that information and energy without getting attached to the old pain. And you will receive the love of Source. When you go outside and you look at your world and you can still see the good, you are receiving. When you interact with other humans and you see the good and you look for the good in them, you are receiving. When you sit with your breath and let the oxygen of your planet come into your lungs and fuel your heart chakra, you are receiving. There are many ways to let the love in. And we just want you all to know that this is a major teaching going on in the human collective. You do not have to figure it out, and if you find yourself in the energy of spinning your wheels over and over and over again, we just want you to know that we have noticed that this is a pattern when you are in an imbalanced masculine state of action. And if you can relinquish that for just a moment, that in itself is bringing in the harmony of the divine feminine, which regulates that energetic patterning right away, allowing for an opening almost instantly, you see. You are learning how to work the heart. You are learning how to open the heart. You are learning how to move through the heart. You are learning how to activate your heart, your high heart, the highest piece of you. You do know how to let it in. It just feels foreign. It is an unpracticed flow, being restful and silent, trying not to think too much. And it doesn't mean that you are being asked to be in this state from sun up until sundown. It is just that you allow it more presence in your life. And that in itself will create an acceleration energetically, allowing it to be more dominant, and you will be called towards more of that divine feminine stillness. And it does not matter to us whether you are a male or a female or anything you choose. It doesn't matter. It is an operating system of energy. And when you are dominant in one more than the other, you will have imbalance in your life. This is why we are asking you to come into inner harmony. Pay attention to your thoughts. It'll tell you where you are. It'll tell you how you're caring for yourself and maybe where you are shooting yourself in the foot. That saying is so silly to us. It's fun to come here and swim through these words of the human language. Language is not something that's used a lot in the higher realms. And in the beginning, it was really difficult for Crystal to find the most appropriate word for the frequency she was feeling. When she first began recording these messages, she would have to speed them up quite a bit just to sound normal because her speech patterning was so slow. And as she integrated the information, it's come in a very different way. Allow yourself to change. Allow yourself to shift your patterning. Allow yourself to be aware and honest about who you are and what you're doing, because this is where your control is. Your awareness is your power, but it's never been an awareness of external things. It's the awareness of everything going on inside of your body. And the more you cultivate places where you can get used to the subtle realms of energy, you're going to hear your guidance. You're going to feel your guidance. Crystal dedicated herself to 30 days of meditation, and we came in after about 2 weeks. It blew her away. It wasn't her expectation, and that's why it was so easy. You see, she's never had an expectation in this place, and that's what's making her such a clear channel. She's practicing deeper levels of receiving and surrendering, and it's allowing us to go to further places of her mission. And the same will happen for you. The same will happen for each and every one of you. Crystal is opening up the blueprint of her body, and so are all of you. Her ability to telepathically communicate with us is nothing that you cannot do. It is wired within you. It is wired within you. Your connection to Source will never fail. You're either just paying attention to it or not. And it is not this loud, booming voice. It is frequency. It is waves of light, waves of love. And you all have access to Source. It is your birthright. It is the promise that was placed upon you when you were born earthside. No matter what you do, no matter what you choose, you can never disconnect from what you are. We feel that today's message is complete. Thank you for being here with us again. Thank you for opening your heart. Thank you for allowing this space to be a space where you come and you receive. You are teaching your energy field something that is very important. And we are glad and we are proud. And you are so loved. You are so loved and you're so encouraged. And you have no idea how close you are. And how big this all is. Our love for you is endless, endless, endless love. Let it in. Place your hands on your heart with us right now and just let it in. Feel us. Feel us around you. Yes, we are crystals collective of light, but you are here. You are here in this space. You are here in our transmission. And as she is a part of us, and this is important to her heart, it is important to our heart that we are here in support of your ascent on planet Earth. We are complete.